Hello, magical people. Welcome to Lantern Light Adventures. Tonight, we will be playing Girl by Moonlight, a game we are titling An Empty Dream. My name is Mal. Online, you can find me as Archangelic. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be the director for tonight. Let's go around and have y'all introduce yourselves. Um, that's
Huh?
totally on me. I forgot the order. So,
I have it up here. Hi, my name is Chantel. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Winifred Cecilia Lewison, aka Nif to her friends. Um, and her transcendent form is Concordia. Their pronouns are they, them, and I am playing the Harmony.
All right, I think it is my turn next. Double checking, and yes, it is. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Elle. I use they, them pronouns. I am very excited to be here, and today I will be playing Carrie Milan Evander Leal, whose pronouns are also they, them. They go by Lycos in their transcended form. Again, they, them. I'm not fancy like Chantel is. And I am playing the Outsider playbook. All right, Dozens, that's you.
Okay, thank you. I didn't have the thing up. Hi, I'm Dozens. My pronouns are he, they. I am playing Janice Quinn, pronouns she, her, whose magical form, whose transcendent form is Kronos, pronouns it, its. And I am playing the Time Traveler playbook.
Hello, friends. My name is Soliloquy Jaden. You can find me most places online as Fat Sapphic Bro. I use they, them pronouns. I will be playing the unlikely hero, Calliope Rodriguez, she, her pronouns, and transcendent form, their daj, they, them pronouns. Welcome back to our space here at Lantern Light Adventures. This is home to all of our TTRPG and related content on Twitch. All of our games are also uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There's a link in our link tree in the chat right now that you can click and it'll take you to all of the various social media pages so you can follow us everywhere we are. If you want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, feel free to also join our Discord, which is linked in the chat. And if you want to play with us or GM for us, you can fill out the TTRPG actual play interest form, which you can find linked in our link tree and in the chat. Once you fill out that form, I'll email you back with our TTRPG consent form, and then we can match you with games from there. Please understand we can't necessarily accept everyone, as we want to make sure our tables all share a good vibe and that everyone will feel safe and have a good time. It might also take some time to get you worked into a game because we got a lot of things going on, but please be patient and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. We will be streaming this Girl by Moonlight game every Tuesday from 6 to 9 p.m. PST. This will be a shorter campaign and will run for approximately 15 sessions. On Sundays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. PST, we stream the Era of the Dragons, our D&D actual play. We take the last weekend of the month off to work on editing and producing more content for y'all, so we do not stream the Era of the Dragons on the last Sunday of each month. Most Mondays, Archangelic and I will be streaming the two of us playing video games or board games, and we've decided to start with Baldur's Gate 3. We've had a few sessions so far. It's been a lot of fun, so we'd love if you come and hung out with us while we played. And I think that's it for me.
awesome. Thank you for those announcements. So let's get into it. A figure in a metal helmet steps up to a metal railing. The lights in this place reflect off the figure's shiny visor and steel banded armor. The figure stands before a series of gigantic crystals in various shades of pinks, blues, reds, purples. The largest purple crystal juts from the floor at the center of this jeweled choir. The figure speaks with a distorted voice. You've lost your chosen warrior. He has betrayed us all. I stand before you to volunteer my service. I have a plan to succeed where my predecessor has failed. A pink crystal glows and speaks. Hubris, how dare you stand? How do you plan to invade the land of the dreamers? You are just some fool from the lower ranks. Your strategy of sending monsters to create havoc and chaos was folly. I plan to be surgical and precise. Our enemies will not know what hit them until it's too late. Voices uproar, overlapping as multiple crystals glow and speak. Our strategy? We are capable of winning this without you. How dare you? The largest purple glows. Very well. The crystalline choir goes silent. The conduit is yours. Show us victory. Welcome, everybody, to Santa Marta, California, situated on the southeastern coast of California's inland San Joaquin Sea. Santa Marta is a bustling, thriving city. Its downtown is crowded with glass and steel skyscrapers. Buses and trains move people around to work, to shops, to restaurants. To the west, the city gives way to the old city, full of brightly painted stucco facade buildings, some dating back 400 years, lined with cobblestone streets and commemorative plaques. Nestled right in the middle of downtown in the old city is California's premier institution of higher learning, UC Santa Marta, home of the Fighting Coconuts.
Go coconuts.
Go coconuts.
Go Coconuts, where old austere brick buildings are mixed with new modern halls. This is where our heroes have all come to get their educations. 3 months ago, on a bright sunny day on the beach, a portal opened up. First appearing through the portal was Kyxeria 22, Kai for short, a robot for all intents and purposes, carrying some sort of large device. Following her was a humanoid with wolf-like features and a grotesque monster. Our other heroes were there that day. Kai gave them each an artifact and strange powers. A battle ensued. But that was then. And now, winter term has started at UCSM. So I'm going to have you all introduce and describe your characters. Dozens, let's start with you.
So Janice is sorry, how are we jumping in this? Do you want like a general description? Or like do you want like a snapshot of what they're doing, what they're up to right now?
I would love a snapshot if that's what you want to give.
Okay, so Janice is like an overachieving academic kind of person. She's co-captain of the campus robotics team. So I'm imagining her getting up and getting ready for her day, kind of like frantically. She didn't oversleep. That's not why she's rushing. She probably got distracted by some side project or like trying to like, do some extra credits or something overachieving and lost track of time. So now she's throwing on her backpack, grabbing a piece of burnt toast and rushing out the door and running across the campus quad to try to get to class on time. Kind of frantic, a little disheveled. She is got a kind of a hippie techno pagan retro futuristic 1980s kind of vibe. So kind of like yeah, the kind of retro futuristic, and has got kind of like a faux hawk going on to the sides of her head shaved, and has got kind of 80s gear. She's got on leggings and like the leg warmers, and like a sweater with like the neck cut out of it, and she's trying to get to the class on time, and that's where Janice is at right now.
Awesome. Chantel, introduce your character.
All right. So Nif knows they wouldn't take a morning class, so they're, chilling at home with their partner, whose name I have promptly forgotten, but it is in my notes.
Helios.
Helios, there we go. Helios is a political science student. And Nif is into kind of ecology, kind of the future of farming, how to produce better food without having to use a lot of plants. Definitely, she is chilling, just kind of enjoying her morning, having a nice breakfast, putting on makeup. She wears very kind of contemporary, a little bit of maybe a midriff or, shorter skirts. But just very kind of chill, happy, confident, getting everything together for class, always feeling very prepared.
Awesome. As you As you are getting prepared, we go over to Jaden.
So Calliope is pretty shy. She's a fat girl. She is an art major, but really likes photography, is a part of the school's art club, and has like a favorite art store in town. Her mom is very almond mom, always on a fad diet. Right now, she's on a fruit and juice cleanse, so the house is filled with fruit. Calliope has long curly hair that she mostly keeps pulled back, which her mom is constantly on her about letting her beautiful hair down, and she's just always trying to shoo her mom away from her hair. So she is getting her, grabbing some choice fruits for the day and rolling her eyes at her mom's new thing. And yeah, that's about it, I think.
Awesome. Elle, introduce your character.
So, unlike a lot of other people who are getting ready for the day, Harry's day has already started. They're currently at the gym on campus beating the absolute crap out of a punching bag. And they're winding down from their workout, but they're not slowing down at all. They've got a tank top and probably just some leggings on, full sleeve tattoo on both arms, and they've got a combination of an undercut and a pixie cut, hair dyed with some streaks in various shades of purple, just absolutely going ham on the punching bag. And their phone in their pocket vibrates. They take out one of the earbuds from their unfortunately very human ears and goes to start grabbing their stuff, muttering something in a language that no human has ever heard and no human will ever understand.
I love that. So, as you are all starting your days at your day at UC Santa Marta, you all have, this is the part of your life that you're obliged to do, the part of your life that separate from what happened on that beach that day and what has happened since. So where is Janice heading off to right now as the obligation calls for you?
She's probably heading off to the engineering building. There's probably, I'm imagining that there's a robotics club meetup, and she's got to get there a little bit early to get things prepped up and prepared. I don't like set out the tables and all the electronics and stuff. And that's where she's heading to.
As you go and you get there to set up, you're there first, and people start trickling in as you're preparing. One young kid has a very like gaudy wristwatch, seems too young to be here. He says, Janice, are you prepared for the competition next week?
Is this my guy?
This is Splendiferous Cogwell.
I scowl. Splendiferous. How did you get here before I did? I was up at the crack of dawn. Yes, I'm ready for the competition. What do you think? I'm not, that I've been preparing night and day for all weekend. Are you prepared?
Yes, my mother prepared me a brain energy giving breakfast this morning.
Did she pick out your clothes too?
What's wrong with my clothes?
Nothing. It just looked like something your mom would have picked out.
And so he says, look, your robot is not going to get through the maze faster than mine. I have built a very intricate, very complicated algorithm that you could never understand.
I've been perfecting my algorithm all weekend. My robot is going to crush your robot. I challenge you to a maze off at this moment.
He says, very well. He opens his coat, his like kind of tweed coat that he has on that's just a little bit too big for him, but he has assured you multiple times his mother said he will grow into it. And he pulls out this small robot. It has like a 3D printed shell, these tiny little, like 6 tiny little wheels on it, and one big antenna up off of it.
Okay. I pull out my robot, and I set him down and I start, give him a little pep talk. Okay, Norbert, we've practiced this. We've been over this over and over again. You can do this. I've seen you do it. Just relax, calm down, and you'll do fine. And Norbert, I think, is, I don't know. I don't want to say that he's like white, a trash can on a Roomba, but that's he looks a little the chases, the exterior, the presentation is not Janice's focus. She's all about optimizing like the runtime, the routines, the algorithms. So there's probably just like a Sharpie marker, like smiley face drawn kind of sloppily on the front of it. She's like, okay, Norbert, this is your time to shine.
All right. You put your robot into the maze, and the goal is to get to the center in as quickly as possible. What would you like to roll in order to do this?
I would like to. This has got to be an analyze.
I believe it is analyze.
Yeah. I have one mark in analyze. Does that mean I roll one dice?
Let's see. So
I believe you roll 2.
correct. Well, because in this playset, you always have one. There's always hope. So, yeah. So, actually, I don't know. What did we choose for that playset? Let me just double check.
First roll, let's go.
Let's go. Go coconuts.
Go coconuts.
Go coconuts.
Go Norbert.
So, yes, you're rating. So let's see, rolling dice. We are learning this game together, folks. It's so
I was gonna say,
yeah, I've never run Forged in the Dark, Blades in the Dark, or anything like that. So, we're gonna learn together. So,
and none of us have played this, so thanks for your patience, and you get to learn with us.
You'll use an additional action, Okay, so it. In this case, I believe it does. We have some abilities in this, so I'm looking at the rules. Bear with me. So
Rawr.
you get 1 dice for each shot, each dot you have. So I believe
I have 1 dot.
I was looking at it earlier and I thought it's if you have a dot, you get 1 dice. If you have 2, you get 2. And if you have no dots, you roll 2 dice and take the lower. So
Yeah,
you're like rolling
basically-
at disadvantage.
correct. That is correct. So you have 1 die here. You can,
Okay.
of course, choose. There are ways to get more dice, but for now, it's just 1.
We'll roll my 1 die. It's a 6.
Oh, that's a full success. So yours zips past. Amazing. Like it zips towards the center, and like another student is there just timing, and he just like flatly says the time to you. And Splendiferous like puts his robot in, pulls out a massive like remote with way too many knobs, and like well, no, this wouldn't be these are autonomous. So yeah, he puts it in. There's like too many switches on the bottom. He's just fiddling with switches and things. He puts it in, and it goes, and one of the wheels like just burns out and smokes, and like, he says, "That was not supposed to happen."
I think Janice like reacts like a little too like strongly. She's like, "Yes, Norby, that's what I'm talking about." And then composes herself and turns to Splendiferous Cogwell and composes herself. Like, so I think we're agreed that my robot will be representing us in the competition this weekend.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, cool. All right.
And he turns away, and you don't see this, but he turns to himself and he says, "We're gonna find the best algorithm in the whole world." And he just kind of sees as he like holds his robot in his hands and looks at it, his wristwatch shaking on his hands as he holds it. So awesome. So we're calling for obligation. What is Nif doing? What obligation calls for Nif? You're muted.
Not anymore, I'm not.
Yeah.
I think realistically, I think NIF, the first obligation is kind of the relationship. Um, I think these two people, neither one of them are scheduling early morning classes. They are, driven, but not crazy driven, him a little more than her. Um, but they both are acknowledge their limitations and try to set themselves up for success. And so I think the first obligation is maintaining their relationship,
Mhm.
just kind of having breakfast. I think Nif is a little more chill than I wrote it down here too. Helios, just kind of, yeah, chatting about what their day is going to be like, trying to make sure that, you know, everything is in check. Harmony wants to be in harmony.
Mhm. Um, Helios wakes up a little bit before you, not like enough that it's like annoying, but enough that he's the one who made breakfast, or at least got started on breakfast. He doesn't cook anything super extravagant, just some eggs and some toast, and you know, um, he likes hot sauce on his. And you are sitting down, there's coffee made.
This is amazing. You know how much I appreciate you.
He says, "You're gonna need energy. We both need some energy."
Yeah, it's a long day of classes. What are you up to today?
Well, I have to go to my lecture. It's at the top floor, and that building doesn't have an elevator. So I'm just psyching myself up for that.
Oh, yeah, you're going to need extra. Do you want me to make you a little bit of extra food?
I think I'll got it. I might just pick up something later. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, how's your day going to go?
Oh, I have a couple of lectures and I've got a lab today. Um, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do, but
I'm sure you're going to do great.
just like you are going to have legs of steel by the end
Uh,
of today.
and there's a notebook already on the table, like that he's just been like scribbling notes because like he's trying to work out something for an essay or something, and he's kind of idly doing that as you're talking.
Do you need a hand? How are you doing there? Need any
Uh,
ideas?
I mean, if you know things about medieval Russian relations with serfs, I mean, that's, you're welcome to try.
Nif just blue screens. When I hear surfs, I think of the ocean. So I'm guessing I'm not going to help you with that.
We really just need to go to the beach again.
We do. Oh my gosh.
We don't go
Um,
enough.
no. I'm just wondering, have you put your share of the rent into the account for this month?
He thinks for a second. He's like, "Did I do that, or was that last month?" You've seen this process go for him. He's just like, "Did I already do that, or did I imagine doing that?" And he like looks at his phone. He's like, "Nope, but it's done now." And he
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I'm going to clean up here because you have a big day of walking.
he says, "That I do," and he like just like folds a piece of toast and like shoves it in his mouth and like eats it. And he with mouth like still partially full and chewing, he like gives you a kiss on the cheek as he picks up his bag to head out for the morning.
Absolutely just kind of muss his hair up and then like carefully put it back in place.
And he he'll just like kind of like muss it in a way that like feels right to him. And he says, "All right, well, I love you," and he'll head out for the morning.
Love you too, sweetheart.
All right, what does
Good
Nif do after he
obligation.
heads out?
I think Nif kind of just cleans and then tries to get out of the house pretty quickly. I think she likes being around other people.
Mhm.
So I think she wants to get to school to kind of be in that kind of energy.
Awesome. Um, yeah. So as we close the scene on Nif, Calliope, what are you up to? How does obligation call to you?
So Calliope still lives with mom and has a few morning chores, taking out the garbage, just a little straightening up that she has to do. So she'll take care of that. And then she, um, while not a morning person, doesn't really like to hang around the house a lot, doesn't like to be around mom more than is absolutely necessary. So she will start gathering her belongings and things and head to school and probably hang out in one of the art department rooms for a little bit while she waits for class to start.
Awesome. Yeah. As you're leaving for the morning, you can hear the juicer in the kitchen going, um I'm not gonna call for normally it's, I was tempted to call for a flow roll to see if you got out of the house, but honestly, you've done this enough. This is simple to you. You know how to like quietly close the garage door and make your way out that way. Um, and yeah, what class are you heading to?
So, heading to photography class first. That is Calliope's main interest in the world of art, though she does do a lot of different art things. But she is currently in a digital photography class.
Awesome. Um, yeah, and how is there a particular project or something that you're working on in that class? I imagine with digital photography, you're being taught a lot of, the fundamentals of, processing digital images and stuff, but what you're actually taking photos of would probably be mostly your focus, whatever you wanted to do as the student.
Right,
So,
right. So she does a variety of different types of photography. She kind of really wants to learn as much about all of the, as learn as much about each specialty as she can in this regard. And her current focus is taking pictures of trees and doing some digital manipulation stuff to make kind of like like mixed media when you you take a photo and then you like digitally add in other things to make it look like fantasy-esque or something like that. That's kind of the vibe we're going with.
that makes sense. Um, yeah, let me see something here. So yeah, you are taking your class. You know, you're managing to take the amount of photos you need and process them, and you're doing well in your classes overall. Um, but we'll fade away from Calliope for right now. L, how does obligation call to you?
So Carrie is heading to the coffee shop on campus to get changed and do a morning shift before their afternoon classes. On the way, they're listening to a true crime podcast about a housewife who murdered her husband and is chuckling along to it. And I think that they're doing a little bit of research for their paper about Alexander II's 1961 freeing of the Russian serfs.
Awesome. Awesome.
And as soon as they get over to work, they change into their uniform. They always look at their apron with a little bit of disgust, but they put it on nonetheless. And again, they're complaining in a language that is incomprehensible to human ears about mainly the various types of coin and how ineffective they are.
Amazing. Amazing. So, um, I'm sorry, I phased out for a second. I'm back though.
It's okay.
Yeah, so um can you just reiterate for that for me? I'm so sorry.
Yes, no worries. So some of it was just like flavor, like they're complaining in their native alien language about coins and how silly the currency of the world is. And they're just getting ready for their shift, and then they are going to their shift, and they're going to do some work before they have classes. Because, morning rush, college campus, there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah. You put on your Pita Palace uniform and and you get ready for the drive-through is already like packed. There are students waiting at the front counter. uh you're complaining about currency, and like one coworker who is like probably 35, and he's like wearing a manager thing, and he says, "Okay, honey, whatever you say." And he will go. He's like, "Are you good? You got your cash register set up?"
I assure you, I am perfectly capable of handling the cash register, Anthony.
He's like, "Oh, please call me Tony." And he's like, "I know Anthony's on the badge, but call me Tony. It's fine."
All
Um,
right, Anthony, I will take that into consideration.
okay. And he'll go back because he was only half paying attention to you while asking these questions. He was like making sure the cups were all in the right place and doing things. He comes through and everywhere's cleaner as he walks through the place because he's always just touching something and putting it back. Um, the rush begins, and yeah, so as part of the obligation phase, and this is what I was zoned out about, is that we're supposed to roll to see if you take any to do some things. But since we're getting right into this, I'm not going to do that yet. But maybe when we come back around to obligation, that'll come around. We're just trying to set the scene and give flavor here. And but how do you react to the massive amount of customers that you have to deal with at a time?
Harry's just getting them in as fast as possible. Anytime there's like a little bit of a break under their breath, they're muttering again in their incomprehensible alien language that I once commanded armies, I once led revolutions, I once handled worlds, and now I am trapped in a 5 foot nothing body with no ears, no tail, no senses. This is such. Hello, how can I help you?
Was that Russian or something?
Or something.
Them Russians, they coming for us.
I assure you, sir, no one is going to come for you.
He's like, "I'll have a number 4, extra large," and he
I
will
thought
pass you
you
his money.
would.
And yeah, you continue your shift. You are um after the rush is gone and everything, we will come away from there. We will now move into as you are all doing your stuff throughout the day, as the day carries on, and you have your obligations, you're doing your classes. um I would like you all to roll. um I'm gonna say, let me pull up my actions here. Oh, I have a cheat sheet. I should use that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, there's a rules reference in the forms. So I would say perceive. I would like everyone to roll perceive.
I get to roll this at disadvantage because Lycos has never had an emotion in their life.
So if we have no dots in perceive, how many dice do we roll?
Let me look at something because there are.
So, perceive is a moon skill. So I think that if you have no dots, it defaults to the moon skill overall, right?
If you have no dots, you roll twice and take the lowest.
Okay, I
Okay.
read that wrong. See, that's why you're here, Mal.
Yeah.
That and building an entire world for us.
Yeah, building an entire world, playing all of the people who aren't us, making such a
No big
fun
deal.
story. Super cash.
Cool. Yes, the series ability y'all chose was that you are never alone. You may use teamwork regardless of the distance separating you. When you assist a teammate from afar, ask the player one question about their character from your gather info list. So that's not exactly relevant here, but that is the power y'all chose. I thought there was something. Let me take a look. Location, downtown. Okay. Yeah. I was wrong. So yeah, if you have 0 dots in it, you roll twice and take the lowest. So
And that's a 2 for me.
2. Okay, that's a failure.
Got a 4.
Nice.
Wow, the 4 club.
Great. We have 3 4s. This is exciting.
Awesome. Partial success. You 3 see. Well, with Carrie. You think you see you think might be a weird bird or maybe a hummingbird, something loud and buzzy is like outside the window of the Pita Palace. You see it just for a moment and you're like, is that a hand? And it flies away.
Oh no, I'm feeling so sick. Bye.
And Tony says, make sure you clock out, honey. And so I'll get the names. Nif, you are just like moving between classes at campus, and you see again with that 4 being partial, you see a few of these like drones. You think they're just like drones, and people play with drones, on campus, but again, these ones look weird and somewhat organic, but you kind of lose sight of them before you can really like take a look at them.
I
Go
think,
ahead.
can I use an ability?
Oh, yes, of course.
So my mundane ability, perfect pitch. My voice is polyphonic and eerily beautiful. Your allies can always hear you speak, regardless of distance or other interference. So if I saw something weird like that, knowing that there are weird things out there, I think my first step would be to alert the gang. So I think Nif would kind of step out of the main concourse of people and just say, hey, um, eyes up. We've got something weird going on. Didn't get a glimpse of it, but I saw some weird, like, flesh drones. I don't know if they're yours, Janice, but everybody keep your eyes out for it.
And yeah, I'll say Janice, as you hear that, you look up and you see on the window of the classroom, like um just one like slowly lifts itself out of the view of the window. One of these weird hands that have like 4 propellers on them.
I don't think you guys can talk back to me, so you just have to listen to me in your head.
But y'all do
Yeah.
have phones and can text each other.
That's so mundane.
I think Janice is taken aback by the drone, and I think starts to like ascribe it some significant meaning because of the message from Nif, but then also quickly gets distracted and is like pondering like the biomechanical implications. Like, oh, it's just like some fusion of like hardware and wetware. This is really fascinating. I wonder, like, blah, 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 and starts spiraling off like into science jargon.
Oh.
And oh yes, Calliope. So you're probably maybe just out in the quad taking pictures of trees, and you don't initially like see it in the frame of like what you're looking at, but you go back to your computer and you put in the SD card and you're moving these in and you see like this like object move through like multiple frames of it, and you zoom in and you see this hand thing, but it's blurry. Like
I will hit our group chat that I imagine we have via our cell phones with a 10-4 to the message and a shot of the blurry photo.
Kai, the robot who showed up on the beach, is part of the group chat because someone got her a cell phone at some point. And she writes in all caps how to zoom on image into the group chat.
Enhance.
I think Nif would be texting, Janice, you're smart. Can you figure out a way to make this a little more distinct? Or what were your thoughts about this? Because it seems up your alley.
Janice starts texting back. And I don't know if Janice is like totally used to it at this point, but like it's kind of weird to me how like we're all stuck and limited to text, and Nif gets to just like speak back to the text chain.
Yeah.
Well, that was a text.
Yeah. That was a text.
I tried to Nerf tries to reserve that for important things, or the obligatory "you pooping."
I think Janice starts texting back, like a little bit with like a little bit too much detail, talking about like pixel ratio and de-aliasing algorithms, and like essentially is like then catches herself and is like, no, you can't just. That's not even a real thing. You can't just enhance. You can blow it up. It'll be just as blurry. P.S. There's a hand drawn outside my window. I think Janice is going to cautiously. Curiosity is going to get the better of her. She's going to raise the window to get a better look at the hand drone.
I
It's
think
gone.
as
It's gone.
you
Yeah,
Lost
yeah,
it.
it like zoomed up and out of the way, like out of view of where you were sitting, and you just kind of lost track of it. It's not there anymore.
So once
Lost
you're
it.
like over more by the window, you can see Carrie just booking it across the campus, trying to chase after the drone, a little bit like a dog chasing after a stick.
Does Carrie have like a wolf like a lope? Imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely a lope. Not quite on 4 legs because it's taken a lot of experimentation, but apparently that's not how people work. But definitely a bit of a wolf-like lope, just
Love
mad
it.
dashing after the thing. It's gone. They're not gonna catch it, but they're gonna try.
I think Janice seeing Carrie is going to be like, okay, I gotta go. And she grabs Norby and she's like, Splendiferous, you're in charge. You're in charge. Don't let anyone break anything while I'm gone. And she runs out of robotics club.
As
And-
you go looking for Splendiferous to say you're in charge, he's not here.
Splendiferous Cogwell.
He's dead.
So unreliable.
One of the
How did this
the
kid even
students-
get to be co-captain of the robotics team? It's irresponsible. This is unacceptable.
Max, the student who was timing you, he says, I can do it. I know I'm just the treasurer, but
All right, Max, I hereby deputize you as temporary co-captain. You're just in charge while I'm gone. Don't break anything.
yes.
Things are looking up, Max. This is my day.
Yeah, so you all make your way outside. You're all kind of just around the quad, and so
I think. Do we want to This is still in the texting. Do you want to meet at Do we want to meet at our place to maybe talk about this?
Yes, en route. See you at the hideout. I had Carrie, but I lost her. So let's go to the hideout.
Thumbs up emoji from Carrie, followed by a text that is clearly not meant to be a text. How to turn off buzzing on phone.
just Kai and Carrie being aliens in the group chat.
They're just, neither of them knows how phones work. They're both aliens who are just kind of here now.
The Hawaii people will respond, absolutely, be right there.
Yeah, so
10 for good buddies.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
You make your way to your hideout. So you follow one of the sidewalks from the quad to the nature path that is in the park here in the middle of Santa Marta. a few months ago, you were looking for a place, and Nif just happened to fall off one of the ledge over like a culvert into on this nature path and found a door. Um, you you found that it was some sort of maintenance area or something, but clearly no one used this place. So you spruced it up a little bit. You have put things around to make it more comfortable as like a concrete room can be. You realize that it has connected to tunnels all through the whole area, various maintenance shafts and things like that. Um, you do your special little knock at the door. There is a loud buzzing as Kai undoes some sort of ward or something to open the door, and you are greeted to Kai's massive like CRT screen of a head with just like what looks like a flickering VCR image of a woman's face, like but shoulders up. Uh
Is it Maxine Headroom?
yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And it says, "Hello, warriors."
Janice, as always, has to resist the urge to like touch Kai and like look for like wires, like kind of like fuss and fidget with her. And she's like, hey, Kai, is anyone else here yet? Ducks in.
No, you are the first. And you all make your way in. You all eventually make your way to the hideout. And I believe now we're officially in the downtime phase of play. There are things you can do, but we'll let y'all guide how you want to do this. So as you
I
all
think
come here, go ahead.
Terry's just kind of staring at the photo on their phone and just trying to zoom in as like close as they possibly can. They've zoomed in as close as they possibly can, so they're just holding it closer and closer to their face. And
It-
do they recognize whatever this thing is at all?
I believe you want to look into this. Um so you can either just we can analyze it, or you can use one of your downtime actions, which you all have 2 downtime actions to investigate. Um
I think that it's not so much an investigation as it is, do I recognize this thing from my time in the other world?
yeah. So um yeah, actions are always negotiable. You can roll what you want to. It might just change what, how it plays out. But I believe in this case, analyze is what you're looking for.
Yeah, analyze is what I am looking for, and Carrie does have a point in analyze.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying my music. 5.
5. Okay. With a 5, that is a partial success. Okay. So here's what you would know. There are various small little creature alien things, and like tech and alien are a little bit loose terms in the dreaming where you are from. Um like what is a creature, what is technology is a little bit loose. Um you what you know is that these were spotted at multiple different places, which means there's more than one. Um and there are some beings from the dreaming that have the ability to have multiple little scouts looking around. You don't It's hard to say because of the way that a creature from the dreaming has to have some sort of physical link to the world of dreamers, and that physical link changes them when they come here. So it's hard to say for sure whether this is definitely something for the dreaming or something, it's just something you've never seen before. Like you didn't know in the world of dreamers that they had phones that they could communicate to themselves with. So everything's a little bit new.
Just kind of staring, goes over to a chair, sits very incorrectly in the chair. It's almost comical. their legs, neither of their feet are on the ground. Their legs are in the air. It looks like these are small fries. They have some big boss somewhere, some head honcho. I should know. I commanded several smaller beings. So I think that perhaps we're looking for someone a little more intelligent, developed.
Do you have any ideas as to who?
I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't enjoy the company of most people. And that didn't change when I was who I used to be.
I mean, haven't you, as a general yourself, did you not hear about, any kind of generals or like the higher up in the chain of command?
I don't know what you think went on in my home world, but we didn't have all this icky feeling stuff like communication and proper battle plans or collaboration.
Sounds like it would be difficult to get things done.
Not if you're skilled. Of course, I don't see how you would know, seeing as you have to rely on two different beings.
It's like a relationship, a wonderful relationship. Just also,
Gross.
you can't have a garden without water and soil.
What does that have to do with this conversation?
My inner peace is like a garden, and it's helping itself. It's
Janice,
wonderful
you're
to have things to
intelligent.
rely on.
I'm glad you have something to rely on, Janice.
Hi,
What
hi,
do you,
Carrie.
what do you make of all of this? I mean, you like building your little robot friends, don't you?
I do enjoy building my little robot friends. She looks over at her backpack where Norby is all packed up. But at the moment, Janice has out her deck of tarot cards and a little pamphlet titled Tarot for Debugging Computer Programs. And he's like kind of rifling through her tarot deck. And she draws a card off the top of the deck and places the final card down on the tableau that she's been building. And she's going to try to suss some meaning or some intuition from the cards about the situation. And as I was skimming through the book, I want this to be an investigation
Okay.
move from the downtime activities.
Okay. Let's see. So, and when you investigate, describe how you're seeking information about your adversaries and roll an appropriate action. Results advance the investigation track in the series playset. Use the result as a gather information roll as well. So,
My gut says this probably is not as analytical as it is like perceptive,
mhm.
like trying to like perceive the meaning in the cards. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay. I have no points in that, so I'll roll 2 and take the lower.
Let me take a look.
I guess I don't know if I can assist on this, but there's teamwork, assist a teammate.
Yes. So, yeah, you can take a stress and give another player another die to roll. At which point that would actually give you, let me see. You understand person intuitively. You confess. This might actually be analyze still. I think analyze might be better for what you're doing, because
Yeah,
you are
okay.
searching beyond the surface presentation of the world. You are reaching into the beyond in order to see. So,
Sure. Okay.
yeah. So
Okay,
at any time, y'all can assist each other. You just take a stress to give the person a bonus die. Or you as the person rolling, you can push yourself to take stress and get another bonus die as well. So
Okay. So I've got one.
Okay.
Nip, are you gonna take a stress to assist, or are you gonna save your stress?
Um, I think I'm gonna save my stress. It's the first
Yeah,
thing.
sure. Okay, that's
I
safe.
I was just gonna say, I think that I may be taking a stress to assist because I think that as contentious a relationship as they have, I think that Terry genuinely likes Janice, and
Okay.
even if they won't say it out loud, they want to be helpful to her.
Aw. Okay.
So I'll go ahead and mark that.
I get the
By taking
feeling
like a
that
secret stress.
that Carrie's reading the tarot book for the meanings. Like,
Yeah, Carrie's like sat cross-legged on the couch and is like looking through all of the different meanings.
Okay. That's a 5.
that is a 5. Okay. Um, let's see. With a 5, let's see how investigation works. So when you investigate, director will describe what gave you this particular insight and reveal details that were previously unknown to you by answering your questions. What kind of spread do you kind of do when you pull these tarot cards?
Probably just a 3 card, like past, present, future spread.
Okay. I would give you the Fool in past, the Magician in present, and the Tower in future.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so full in past. What was in present?
The Magician.
Magician in present, and then tower in future.
Yep.
Awesome.
Now, what that tells you, and the insight that you would gain from that, is that maybe someone has dabbled into something that they don't quite understand. Um, you, they, they started off as naively interacting with the world, and then they've come into their magic of some sort. But for computer debugging, it would be like running sudo when you shouldn't, kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
like, um, and I feel like if you have like, this tech based like tarot deck, the tower is like like a computer tower on fire, like that is shut down with a spark, you know? Um, so you're just looking at this like somebody's messed with something they don't understand is kind of the what you get from this. And I believe, let me take a look.
Are any of them reversed or are they all upright?
I would say the Magician would be reversed, I believe, in this case.
Okay.
So, like the Fool in the Tower are upright. The Magician is reversed.
Okay. So Carrie's flipping through the book. All right, so they had some innocence and new beginning, and then there was trickery and out of touchness. Ugh, English is so confusing. And then there was a sudden upheaval, broken pride, and disaster in the future. Exciting, isn't it? For the record, I had like my actual tarot book out flipping through.
I love
I
that.
love it.
Let's see. We have an
I started
investigation.
hitting true to my character. I started hitting the tarot cards API.
I love that so much. Let me see. I'm gonna command F for investigate to see how
and then if we use, and if I get to use that same role for gather information, then a 5 means I get 1 question and 1 follow-up.
Okay. So I believe the questions are part of your playbook.
I see the questions in my playbook. My options are, what do I remember about X? What really happened here? What defies the flow of time? What is already in motion? What might happen if I X? what is different about X this time? And Carrie, when you were describing a second ago what you remembered about this, it sounded like you knew, like you have some familiarity with like the objects from the dreaming.
I do. I have some familiarity. I don't know everything about it, obviously. No one knows everything about everything, but I like to think I'm fairly intelligent.
Sure. Yes, don't we all? You are so intelligent.
Thank
Um,
you. You're very intelligent as well, dear.
that pleases Janice far greater than what is appropriate. Um, this poor little eager overachiever, just looking for some validation. Um, I want to lean into that last question. What's different about this? What's different about it this time? From the standpoint that, like, Carrie has a little bit of like familiarity with what these things might be and what they may have been used for, but like what's different this time about the way that they're being used, the way they're being like deployed and sent out. Like what's a little bit different about this time?
What's different about this time is, so in the past, y'all have fought monsters. They've mostly, show up on a city street, knock over a car, things like that, and you quickly handle them. If this is something from the dreaming, which it seems like it is, this is almost it's almost like it's investigating.
Yeah, I like that. So it's not like just like blindly destructive. Like what's different is that it's a little bit like curious and like kind of gathering information, looking.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's gathering. It looks like it was when it was sitting in front of your window. It looks like it was looking in, trying to get information about things. It was looking at all the people crowded at the Pita Palace. It was overlooking the quad. It's almost like it's just surveying.
Gotcha. And then I get one follow up,
Okay.
which I want to say is from our previous encounters with dreaming monsters. Did we get a sense of someone behind those monsters being here, or did it feel kind of like random circumstance? Like, like the dreaming's all busted. There's monsters everywhere. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
intelligent design behind this.
From the way that Lycos has described things and the way that you've observed things, it seems like, they know where monsters are in the dreaming and they just opened the gate for them to run out. That was
Okay.
the strategy of whoever's been behind all of this. So
Okay. Then I think my follow up, and maybe this is like directed like more towards myself than to like the game master, but like does it seem as though with these creatures flittering around gathering information, does it now seem as though there's like a little bit more intelligence and intentionality behind these monsters than what we've seen in the past?
I would say absolutely. There seems to be
Okay.
intentionality behind this.
Gotcha.
You know that Lycos was kind of like in charge as much as anyone can wrangle chaos. This seems like a different tactic than before.
Okay. Okay, so I'm imagining me and Carrie kind of like huddled over the cards, and I'm like interpreting them, and Carrie's like, "Oh no, in the book here it says like da 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 da." And I think that we kind of arrive at those conclusions together and kind of like share them out loud with Nith and Calliope.
Yeah, Carrie's kind of perched over Janice's shoulder and is like looking at the cards, looking at the book, looking at the cards, looking at the book.
Well, that's certainly something to take seriously.
I mean, perhaps, but we don't know quite how skilled this enemy is yet, They could be out of their league.
Well, obviously we don't need to worry too much because we have you here.
Lycos just kind of tilts their head like a little puppy, completely confused.
I mean, We've got one of the best, right? On our team. I know we'll be fine.
Yes, yes, you do. You have one of the best.
I think Nif would like to make a connection with Calliope. And I think knowing that Calliope's mom is probably on yet another um, some kind of diet. I think
There are
Nif would
definitely some grapes sitting out.
Nif would have brought some like cute baked goods, something like that. Just being like, let's give you something that tastes like happiness.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I brought some for everyone, but I wanted to. This one is made special. It has, a little happy face on it.
Cute. Wonderful. I can't, there's nothing wrong with fruit. Fruit is very pleasant. I enjoy it quite a lot, but I don't know how she's living off of just fruit.
I
Well, I
mean,
mean, we've made some pretty big strides in adding different kinds of nutrients to fruits and vegetables. Just, so that we're really utilizing our farming space really well. It's really amazing what we've been able to splice into different fruits and vegetables.
you have to have
Ooh.
some kind of meat, though. Honestly, what else do you sink your teeth into?
Actually, we've got some protein-rich celery. It's really amazing.
Never say those words in that order to me again.
So I think choose another protagonist and describe something the two of us would do together, something the other character would appreciate. Their player can offer you an extra die. Roll the appropriate action. The chosen character gains the result level as links with me. So I can give them links with
Ooh.
me.
Yes.
I assumed I would use this as, an empathize.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And yes, you would roll if you have a point in it, you get an extra die, I believe. Does that sound okay, Calliope?
Yeah.
Give an
Oh.
extra die.
Okay, so how do we do this?
So basically, if it's something you would appreciate, I roll, and if you appreciate it, I get an extra die for it.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the chosen character, which is you, gains the result level as links with me on your sheet. So
Cool.
I'm giving you links with me because I am the most special gift.
Obviously.
Obviously. So I already have a point in empathize, so I get to roll 2 dice and have both of them, I think.
Yeah, you pick the highest from the pool.
Well, they were both a 4.
Okay.
So I think you get 4 links with me.
You get 3 links.
Three links. Okay.
Mhm.
But it wasn't
So
a
do I
critical success.
basically, so do I just like write her name on one of the lines and then fill in bubbles?
Yes,
Is that
I
how that
believe so.
works?
Mhm.
Cool.
And links are things that you can spend to give bonus dice to help resistances and things like that. So they are a resource and they are very important.
Oh, cool.
Building links through cookies.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Lycos just kind of, I think that they're alternating how they sit every minute because they just can't get comfortable, and they conveniently tip their bag over, and wouldn't you know it, it's a fun little skirt that seems to be handcrafted and would be Calliope size. How silly is that? How ridiculous. It is a
That's
gift.
amazing.
It is a gift for Calliope that Lycos has made. And
Or
I am
before you said
attempting to build a link with Calliope because I think that Calliope is the person that Carrie likes the most. Just because I think that they kind of connect on the level of like being a little bit uncomfortable with the body that you're in and trying to figure yourself out.
Amazing.
So let's see. What would you say is the role for that, Mal? To just kind of covertly
Hmm. You're trying to be you're trying to be covert about this.
I'm trying to be. I have a reputation.
I would say, since you have this whole thing about like you have a reputation to uphold and like, oh, it's no big deal. I would say conceal.
All
Like-
right. I will roll to conceal. What is this number? The fun thing about these dice is they have little swirlies, but the bad thing is that I can't tell the dots from the swirlies sometimes.
Oh,
5. 5.
5.
Five.
Okay. Let's see. I just have the rule book up. So on 5, that's another 3 links.
Woohoo!
So you now have 3 links with Carrie.
Calliope's going to be linked with all of us.
Absolutely.
It's too bad that we only get links back on a critical success, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you all have 2 actions, so like, you know, there's plenty of time to like build relationships with each other. So
That's very true.
We have 2 downtime actions.
2 downtime actions.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Let me just say the 4 basics. The protagonist can perform 2 downtime actions each. When they choose any combination of actions, while they can choose any combination of actions available to them, it is often beneficial to coordinate these choices amongst the group to ensure that their larger goals can be accomplished. So, and when you did the investigate, that was 3 marks on the investigation track. So
Nice.
and I believe there's 5. So, yeah, anything.
All right. I still have one more action, and I'm trying to decide if I want to spend it on Link or if I want to spend it on investigation. Those are the questions.
How many ticks are on the investigate clock? Total?
There are 5 total.
And we have 3.
We have 3 right now. Because
You can probably finish the clock with a good roll.
Okay, yeah, I think that I'll try to finish the clock then. Yeah, I'm going to try to investigate. And I mean, Lycos likes to pretend that they had no connections to the dream world, but they were a wolf. Lone wolves don't exist, fundamentally speaking. And I think that there's always been a longing for connection, even back then. So I think that they would know generally the people around them. So could they try to like think about this, think like, is this somebody's MO? Would somebody be doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Would someone like be doing the strategic thing? And they're going to specifically be thinking about people who are kind of on the outskirts, people who are not quite a member of the generals, because from their experience with the generals, they and their partner Corvus were a little bit of an outlier. People don't generally work in a group. People aren't generally strategic. It's a bit of a blitz. So they're specifically thinking about the outskirts, thinking about people who are hungry for power, hungry for status, hungry for a win.
Okay. I'm not sure of what action to tell you. Is there an action you would like to roll?
I'm gonna try to talk you into analyze, because I feel like this is going through like Sherlock mind palacing this.
I like that. You are looking, you know, because perceive is the seeing the world as it is without judgment. Analyzing is going deeper than that. And that sounds like what you're trying to do. So let's go for
This is
it.
specifically judging people based off of how likely they would be to do this. All right. Oh, that's a 6.
That's a 6. That would be 4 segments marked. But
Ooh.
that fills out the investigate track for this. So the insight you get is that so there's kind of 2 major kind of separations in the dreaming. There's those that hold themselves close to the lords of the dreaming, these kind of organized figures, in as much as like they squabble and they bicker and they fight amongst themselves and they fight for status and power. But they're different from the beasts of the dreaming, these kind of larger nightmares and nebulous ideas that are just chaotic and float out in the dreaming. From who you know that keeps themselves close to the Lords of the Dreaming, you had many people underneath you that probably would have stabbed you in the back 4 times. They only had to stab you once in order to get your power. But what comes to mind is the word sort. There is, of one of these creatures that knew how to analyze and collate data very quickly, very efficiently. They often worked in kind of the background, kind of doing muck work for the Lords of the Dreaming. You rack your mind for who would even want to bring that guy as a soldier, bring this creature as a soldier into our world, and you can't think of anything. But you do know it's probably this creature in this whatever weird manifestation it is here. You're well aware that being in the land of the dreamers changes you.
All right. I have a name for one of the creatures. Lycos just stares into space for a solid 5 minutes and then just unprompted says that. I think that we may be dealing with sort. It's a lot like you are, Janice. Very quick with analyzing, with data sorting, very intelligent. I don't know who exactly would want to bring it in, but someone did. It did a lot of grunt work, background work for the Lords. Not that you're a grunt, Janice. I think that you have the potential
Thanks.
to...
Thank you.
You could rule the world if you wanted to. We could rule the world together if you wanted to. But that would be wrong. That would be a bad thing to do.
And with that statement, we're going to take a quick 10 to 15 minute break. We will be back soon. All right. Bye, y'all. Welcome back, magical beings. We're glad you're here with us. Before the break, Carrie had done some real pondering about, his former allies and came up with a name. But this investigate roll counts as a gather information roll. So you get to ask me 2 questions from your sheet and get 1 follow-up question.
Yay! I love asking questions. It's my favorite. Okay. What's really going on here?
Okay. What's really going on here?
Yeah, what's really going on here, Mal? We're gonna cut to the chase.
Yeah. Please do. What's really going on here is that if these things are looking for something, they're going to go to, then they're looking for weak spots. It's what you would do. You would look, if you were going to spend time looking at your enemy instead of hitting them, you would be looking for a weak spot to hit them later. And that's probably what these things are doing. So they're probably looking for some sort of information center, some sort of place where there's a lot of knowledge about how to invade the land of the dreamers.
All right. Real quick. What is see, how can I gain an edge here?
How can you gain an edge here?
Yeah, that's my question.
If you find them and they are preoccupied with whatever mountain of information they have, maybe you could get a strike on them or stop them before they have a chance to turn against you.
Okay. And follow-up question. Are they targeting the guardians of the waking world, aka me and my pack?
From what you've been able to gather, they aren't targeting you specifically. you are probably a nuisance and probably part of what they are looking at, but probably not the only focus.
Okay. Again, Carrie kind of zones out into space. A little bit like how an animal just kind of stares at nothing and you're like, is it a ghost? Is it an intruder? What's happening here? And then they turn to Janice dramatically. I think that perhaps we need to invest in a little learning. There's a library here. I've been there before. I slept in the chair. It was uncomfortable.
You don't have to tell me twice to go to the library.
All right.
I'm work. Just let me grab my coat.
We will probably be beating things up, so just be prepared for that. Also, everyone else can come. You know, we're a team.
Before you all head out, I want to ask Calliope, what downtime activities are you engaging in?
All right. So, first of all, I want to know if I can use and empathize to give Carrie. I tracked down the like user manual for the phone that they have, so that I would like, since I'm slowly building our little hideout library. I'm always on the lookout for things to add to the library, but I was able to get a user manual for their phone, which they are clearly trying to learn how to use, and I would like to give that to them.
A poop sheet. Thank you very much. It's 100% genuine. You know Carrie enough to know this is a genuine thank you as they kind of tuck it into one of the pockets of their jeans.
Wonderful. I don't know if I have to do anything for that or any rolls or anything like that.
Yes, you will need to make this sounds like you're trying to make a connection with Carrie, so you will need to roll, and you said empathize, and I think that's a good place to do that. Carrie, would you like to give a bonus die?
Yeah, I'll give a bonus die.
It seems that Carrie genuinely enjoys this.
Yeah, Carrie is
awesome.
genuinely happy about this.
And I've got 1 dot in empathize.
Okay, so you roll 2 and you take the highest. If you get 2 6s, that's a critical.
Okay. 5 is the highest on that one.
A 5. So you get that's partial. You get 3 Carrie, you get 3 links with Calliope.
Awesome.
Sweet. And then, well, we're heading to the library. I wanted to pull out my iPad and do a little bit of brief research to see if I can find any books that I can go pick up at our local, like either at the library or at our local like, book reused bookstore to add to our library that would help us with this situation.
Awesome. That sounds like you are working on your long-term project of building out your hideout. Let me pull up this here.
Speaking of the hideout, I was looking on the hideout sheet and it says spend downtime activity to add 2 XP to moon. Does that mean that we each get 2 XP to moon by being in our lounge?
Yes. At the end of this, you will get 2 extra XP in moon. So
excellent.
Yeah. Let's take a look. So work on a long-term project. So I'm gonna say that this is a 6 segmented clock because that's kind of the standard project here. So yeah, I'll just need you to make I want to say that this is perceive, but of course y'all are always welcome to make a case for anything you want. You're muted, so
sorry about that. So I have nothing in perceive, so roll twice, take the lowest.
That is correct.
All right. Well, I rolled a 1 the first time, so there we go.
Aww.
Okay. So let me take a look at downtime here. So on a 1, you do get 2 segments. You can't fail at downtime. So so you yeah, so honestly, if you want to write down that you have 2 out of 6 segments on the library, I would appreciate that. So
I also was going to use my second downtime action to work on the long-term project.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I just knowing that it was important to Calliope, knowing that it seems like something that would be important for our group. Yeah, thought I'd try to make some headway as well, do something to support the team.
Awesome.
So what would you like me to roll?
You can make a case for anything, but I think if you're just looking for books to add to the library, perceive is the way to go. If you're looking, you can also like think about
I
it
think
different
I
ways to
was
make the
also
library more
trying.
comfortable.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think it was more like, because I mean, Nif isn't dumb. She has, she's doing quite a high level degree, but she's not necessarily in the kind of book world the way the rest of the team seems to be, other than toilet paper over there. But I think, yeah, trying to make it a space that is rejuvenating, that is conducive to learning, that is someplace you want to be.
All right. I say that this could be empathize, express, whichever
I'll go
works for
with
you.
empathize because I have a point in that.
Okay.
Wow, that was a 1. So we get 2 more points towards it.
Yep.
But it's not as comfortable as I'd hoped.
Yeah. And maybe it'll be better over time, but it's more comfortable than it was.
I'd like to-
the comfortable chairs were in the lounge, and you're like, well, we can't take them from the lounge and put them in the library. We need new chairs for the library.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Made it slightly less damp.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to use my second downtime activity to help with the library as well. Janice is super dedicated to building out the computer science and the occultism collections in the library, which I guess I'll go with perceive.
Yeah.
So I'll roll with disadvantage, and I'll take double 1 snake eyes. I'll take the 1.
But that's still 2 segments. I think together y'all have completed the library.
Yeah.
I love how we're like, guys, this is like super urgent thing happening. We have to go. Let's pause and like build a whole freaking library first before we go outside.
I think that everyone else was building the library while Carrie was kind of zoned out, figuring things out.
Yep.
There was like there was like a montage of putting books on shelves, like dusting out rugs and stuff, and Carrie's just in the background just
It looks like
Carrie
the
just did that.
dampest like thrift store book section.
I feel like I like to think we know Carrie's looks by now, so they started that look and we're like, oh, it's going to be a few minutes. Okay.
Look at them going into their mind palace. I'm so proud of them.
also,
Amazing.
I feel like y'all been gathering these books. Like y'all probably had a bunch of these books in your bag because this has been an ongoing thing. You wanted to build a library, so this is something you all knew about and were working on. Kai comes in and says, "This is magnificent. I will start and please do not ask where I obtained these," and puts a stack of blank notebooks into the middle.
Where'd you get these?
Janice, I specifically requested that you do not ask me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I got them from the English department.
I mean, that makes sense. And that was some really good deductive reasoning, knowing that we needed something to take notes in and keep up our learning. And I mean, the English department's going to have the stuff for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they need more notebooks, they can just buy them with human money.
They're for students. We're students.
Arr. Go coconuts.
Go coconuts.
Go fruits thing.
It's actually
You'll have a
actually a
banner.
droop.
It's a wait, really? What is the difference?
I don't know anything about coconuts personally as Chantel, but Nif would. So Nif will just provide some interesting information on coconuts. Also, some genetically modified coconuts that they're working on.
I feel like y'all have in the lounge area a banner of a coconut with like its dukes up. It has like a little sailor hat. Like
Aw.
Because is that because the coconut like sails over to San Mateo?
yeah, Santa Marta.
Okay. Santa Marta.
Yeah.
Lycos
Have you
is
heard- Have you heard
Go
the
ahead.
argument that coconuts are actually mammals?
Oh, because
Yeah.
they're hairy and they have milk. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can use coconut water as a replacement for plasma.
That is interesting. Janice, we have to do some experimentation with that.
I'm into robots.
I mean, it can be robotic. We can do non-organic first, and then college students are desperate for money, so I think we can graduate from there.
I think I'm going to have to get you all some ethical experimentation forms to submit to the University Ethics Board.
Ethics are a strongly worded suggestion by a group that wants to control our every move and our every decision. It's quite rude if you ask me.
They're a strongly worded suggestion unless what you want to do is get kicked out of university.
You can do that?
Oh, yes.
How
It's easier than you might
rude!
think.
Don't they want an education? No wonder there are so many stupid people in the world.
You know, I'm glad you're around. You always give us such an interesting perspective on things.
I'm glad I'm around too.
Kai will pipe up and say, Carrie, I was told to remind you to not harm the other students. And like you see like a notification had popped up on like her like CRT screen, and it just swipes itself away after telling you.
All right, yes, ma'am. And Carrie does a very extravagant bow.
Kai will match the bow. Almost as if it's instinctual.
Janice bows too for some reason, just being socially awkward. Okay, we're bowing. Okay,
Oh, that was wonderful.
thanks.
Nif will do like a full, like, big curtsy, like lifting the skirt on the sides and everything.
Interesting effort, Nif.
You know, I'm always willing to make an effort.
And you always make it interesting.
I'm so glad you're here.
Again, I'm very glad I'm here as well. I think we've established this.
All right. I think we need to head to the actual library that has
Yes.
more books on this.
Okay.
And I think that Carrie, just a small moment, waits until everybody leaves and then adds a couple of Jim Butcher books to the library. No one can know that they're literate.
I don't know what this means, but one of my harmony things is when you sing to inspire your allies or soothe the troubled hearts of foes, roll +1d, +1 dice. Is this like something I could inspire them for, finding things, or is this more of a like?
Yeah. I think if you like let's say for instance one of you's in eclipse and you're trying to bring them out and ask for a roll, you can use your singing to get an extra die on that roll.
Okay, excellent.
It feels like it's setting you up to be kind of an almost emotional center to the group. So but we can play it however. So let's see. So it sounds like we are going into our mission phase. You have a location where there is lots of knowledge, many computer labs, and so let's see here. Let me pull up
We
the
mark
rules.
our 2 XP to Moon, right? For our downtime in the lounge?
I believe that would be at the end of the episode we deal with
Oh,
XP.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mostly because I need to read those rules, and we'll probably just do that when we're off the air doing XP and getting things like that. So
People keep laughing at me when I say that I'm neurotic. I don't understand why.
Phases of play missions. So okay. So we need to roll, I believe missions start out with an engagement roll. So, here's where it is. Okay. The number of dice used for the engagement roll depends heavily on the circumstances of the mission. There's always hope. You always get 1 die. Is this mission particularly heroic or noble? I would say, since you're trying to stop the world from, being invaded by these things, I'm going to say that this is heroic.
You.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not. Is it following through on details from your investigation? It is. So you are at 3 die. Does this determine the fate of a friend? Not that you're aware of.
What do you mean, not that we're aware of, Mal?
I just say things sometimes. Don't judge me.
Okay.
Hopefully they take out splendiferous Cogwell.
Is that a friend?
Far from it.
Have you never, Janice, I listen to you. I listen to your rants. And if it were ethical, I would have already gotten rid of Splendiferous Caldwell. Only I can have a long name.
That's why you're such a good friend.
Thank you. I think that you're a very good friend as well.
Look at these two bonding. It's so great. I think this is Nif to Calliope. Look at these two bonding. Isn't that so great?
It's so cute.
They're so cute.
All right. So we need an engagement roll. So somebody needs to roll 3d6 and we take the result from there.
How do we decide that?
Decide amongst yourselves who's rolling.
My last roll was all ones, so I'll pass.
Yeah, I feel like
My last roll was also a 1.
I think that
I think mine was
everybody.
too.
Yeah, I think that all
Yeah.
3 of you have rolled 1, so I'm gonna take some of my 24 die to roll.
There you go.
At this point, I'm just cycling through them.
I need more
Can't make
dice.
us roll.
All right, let's see. So, see, this is fun because I can't really do math, so we're just we're gonna be along for the ride. Pew pew pew. Ooh, there
That's
is a
okay.
6 in there. That's exciting.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 13 total.
Well, okay.
Lucky-
Just tell me the results of each die.
Oh,
Oh.
6, a 4, and a 3.
Okay. So 6 is a good result on this.
Yay!
Part of what makes part of the system is that we're going to cut to the action. Y'all don't have to, it's nighttime. Y'all don't have to like sneak into the library or anything. We just skip right over all that stuff. So you're in the library, you're already set up, you are already at a good place. You have seen these drones, and as you're now getting a closer look at these drones as they are, looks like they're like scanning through libraries. One of them is like attached to a computer tower and is like holding it like a hand, and it has like these 4 quadcopters and a giant wristwatch right at the top. And that seems to be just spinning as it's like gathering data through this. So like images are flashing on the monitor and you're all looking at this. You're in the library. It's closed for the night. How you got in here? Who's to say? What would you like to do?
I'm assuming that we're all seeing these hand things here, right?
So tacky. Can I punch it?
I think Nif would go up to one of them and like, "Hi, do you happen to have the time?"
It turns, you don't know if these things have like a front or back, but it like turns itself in response to you. And it like tilts a little bit, and it like tilts itself up where like the rotors are, like you see all 4 rotors and you can see the wristwatch, but it has like 25 hands on it for some reason.
Wow, that's a lot of time zones. I think Nif is like trying to distract the thing,
Okay.
just kind of making conversation with it, trying to like communicate with it, build a rapport
I think in
Okay.
the
with the
background,
hand copter.
Lycos is just going ham on another one of them, just absolutely beating the crap out of it.
Okay. Let's do this. Lycos, I think probably this is a defy roll.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna say that this is a desperate roll. Like
Fantastic. I love a good desperate roll. All right, let's go. I've actually got a skill in this.
Awesome.
Lycos is good at punching things. That is a 6, baby.
A 6. Okay. You go right up to it. It's not paying much attention to you. And you go up and you punch it directly. Like its rotors all fall off the hand, like rolls onto the floor, like wires are poking out of it. It starts to smoke. You roll 1 XP in there. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 6s, you do it. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Janice,
Go ahead. Oh, well,
can
Chantel, so Nif was doing something. Nif was trying to make a connection to this thing.
Yeah.
So, I would say roll to empathize.
I'm very sorry that I interrupted. I think that I just thought the juxtaposition of Nif like currently talking to it and then Lycos just absolutely going ham is
Did
very
you
funny.
ascend? Or did you transcend?
No, not yet. This is just boxer carry absolutely being able to have the muscle mass and the technique to smash this thing to bits.
All right. So I have an empathize, so I can roll 1 dice. Oh, that was a 1.
1.
Oh
No. Oh no.
As you're like, hey, and you're trying to make a connection, like Lycos punches one of these things, and the watch face turns red on these drones, and
I've heard this is a rude human gesture.
and it goes to reach out at you. You're going to suffer a consequence of it. It's going to try and harm you.
Great,
No.
let's go, baby.
So you can take the harm, you can choose to resist the harm. Let me make sure I understand the rules on resisting. No. Resisting consequences. So you make a roll with one of your character's attributes. So you would roll Sun to resist the harm here.
Okay.
Well, this would be Nif.
This is
it goes to
Nif.
reach out against Nif.
Oh no! I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Um,
I was gonna accept the consequences for my actions, but it's Nif instead, and I don't think that Carrie feels bad about it.
oh,
It seems
um,
appropriate based on our promises.
so you're gonna roll Sun. That first column of dots, that's the number you have in Sun.
I have 1 in Sun.
Okay, so you get to roll 1 die. If you choose to resist the harm, you can take the harm if you want to.
I mean, I tried to resist,
Okay.
but my dice are really there's a reason I didn't roll for the mission.
Yeah,
I got another 1.
another 1. Okay,
Hate
so
your dice.
so it is going to grab you, and it tries to slam you into the bookshelves, like kind of just push you into them. You manage to resist and like pull yourself away, but you suffer 5 stress for doing so.
Wow.
So
Glad I
when
didn't
you-
use the stress earlier.
Yeah, when you resist, you roll to resist using that stat, and the amount of stress you take is equal to 6 minus the die roll.
Okay. Okay.
So this is probably the first time something has like attacked you when you try to empathize with it cuts you in a way, but we have this action has moved a clock. The drones are now in full scurry around this library, trying to gather information as fast as they can. The red lights are now on top of them. What would you all like to do?
I think Nif would try to get away to try and get in front of Calliope. Just trying to make sure that Calliope is protected.
So I like to establish that Lycos is transcending now.
Awesome.
And
What's it look like when you
Transcendence.
transcend? This is our first transcendence.
it's a little bit like they reach out and something else reaches back, and it's almost like they swap places with the higher version of themselves. And it starts at the hands and then extends from there as their gloves become gauntlets and their more battle-hardened, battle-ready leather outfit becomes something a little more flamboyant, a little more flashy. Everything is kind of turned up to 11. Their eyes are brighter, the streaks in their hair glow, and they have just a little bit of wolfishness back. Their fangs, they have fangs now, are long and extend past their teeth as they grin.
Amazing. Yeah. So you transform into this place. The a series of like 6 drones all look like they're circling you, recording this happening. So
Would you count these as a single obstacle?
I would say so.
Fantastic. I'm going to use Brutish. When you push yourself, choose one of the following additional benefits. Perform a superhuman feat of physical force, destroy an obstacle between you and your rival. They are an obstacle. They are between me and not Calliope. I'm very sorry, Calliope. I love you very much. They're between me and Nif. Nif is my rival. They are an obstacle. Lycos just tears into them a little bit like how a beast would tear into its first meal in quite a while. It is savage and ruthless and wild.
Okay. So I'm gonna say roll defy, take 1 stress, and you get an extra bonus die.
Fantastic. We're doing great, people. Whee. Okay, that is going to be so do I add the bonus die or do I just take the result of 1 die?
It's whatever die is the highest. So
Okay, 5.
5. Okay.
5. I got a 5 and a 2.
Okay. Okay. So you focus on just tearing through the ones that are here in front of you. You're gonna get to your rival, Nif. You get over to her, and but the thing is that now even more of these drones are locked in on you. They are not currently blocking you, but they might be a complication down the road.
Lycos just smiles at them. It is the smile of a predator that knows they are going to utterly destroy their prey.
Amazing. Janice, what are you up to in this library?
I think Janice, so like a couple of things happened, right? I think that when Harry like first tore into that first drone and like tore it all up, I think Janice immediately was like, ooh, and like just like go and look at all like the wires and the rotors and the gizmos and the gadgets and like try to see what makes this thing tick. But then stuff kind of got out of hand. They turned on Nif, carry Lycost out, and I think Janice is going to transcend. And what that looks like is she gets out her tarot deck, and her tarot deck is like this custom deck of large square cards. They look like large floppy disks, and they have little punch holes. They have little holes punched in the cards. And she draws the sun and the moon and the stars, and then kind of like Iron Man nanobot style, all these like metal robotic plates just like clap all over her body. And she puts the 3 cards into the card slot in her chest, and then the chest plate closes over it. And the last thing that closes over her is like the face mask. And now she's standing there as Kronos, this hulking, large golden red robot. And a kind of like calm confidence comes over her. Like usually Janice is really like anxious and like high strung and kind of nervous. And then Kronos is just kind of like more of a calm presence, feels really focused and lasered in on what's going on. And I would like to use my transcendent ability called On the Other Side of Time. And when I push myself I can choose one of the following benefits. I can trade places with my fated person, or I can briefly remove an ally or foe from the flow of time. And I think I would like to remove as many of these drones as I can from the flow of time, which I'm envisioning meaning that they'll kind of like freeze and give us the opportunity to like get some stuff done. And I'd like to like see what that gets us. My goal, my plan is I'm thinking that we could try to like find some like false information to feed the drones, some fake news to give them like, you know, some fake info.
I love that. I'm gonna say that's probably an analyze roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically you would take a stress, you get a bonus die on that analyze roll and see
Okay.
how this goes. And
So I
then
start with one.
yeah,
and
and
I'll
then you
take-
push yourself to get the bonus action. So
5.
5. Okay. So you like hears through time and you supplant that there is some other repository or like some server on campus that has even more information on not just this city but the world at large. You know, you give it some sort of information and time slides for a second and slides back in place, and these drones are gone because they followed a different path to that server earlier in the day. And so there's not drones in this room. However, this has set off another tick of a clock. So
Okay.
whatever is controlling these drones is probably is aware of some interference.
So I just time portaled these drones to another location.
Yes.
Okay.
Calliope, how do you react to everything that just happened?
I think so. It seems like did that kind of make the a danger not so danger now, right? Like they're just mostly distracted.
Y'all are not in as desperate of a situation right now because the drones followed a different path in time. So Nif and Lycos are safer right now. They're not being harassed by drones.
Okay. I think initially Calliope is sort of scared and hesitant as to what to do. Nif has kind of jumped in front of her. And I think that I'm mostly trying to be a watch because I know that I can't transcend at this point in time. And so I'm going to do my best to kind of scope out and see if there's anything else that we need to be, aware of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you instinctually reach out to your transcendent self? Like when that attack happened, do you pull or do anything, or are you just scared? Like, there's no wrong answer here. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I think initially for now, I think it's just fear. I don't think that yeah, I think that Calliope is so resistant to even attempt to reach out to that.
Okay. Yeah, so please give me I'm gonna guess this is either perceive or analyze.
All right, yeah, we'll do perceive. I don't have dots in either, so
You can push yourself.
what does that entail again?
You take a stress and you get an extra bonus die.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
So I roll. So now I don't. So now how do I do this? Since I don't, it's not 2 rolls and take the lowest. Now it's
Just the one roll.
just the 1 roll. Okay. That's a 5.
A 5. With a 5, you start looking around through these through the shelves and through everything, and you know where the computer labs are, and you know that there is a kind of a central server room in this. And as you're looking, that's the only place you see lights is from the server room. However, but you turn a corner to kind of look down a hall at where the server room is. And what you see is that in the doorway of the server room, just a column of these red lights light up as drones perceive you as well.
Fantastic. So positionally, where am I?
You are, I'm being kind of loose with this, but like you're looking down a hallway, I'll say like looking down one of the rows of the library, like there's shelves on one side, but at the end there's like there's a door that's open ajar into the server
Gotcha.
room. There's all the networking blinking lights and things like that. But when you saw the server room, these drones lit up. So you're probably like 20-30 feet down the hall. So like you can duck back, but they've seen you.
And am I still like within arm's reach of Nif?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so then I will probably grab her arm
Hey.
and say, "We've got more company," and point it out.
Nif would, especially seeing the red, likely as well, after it being pointed out, Nif would ascend. Transcend? Ascend? Transcend.
Transcend.
I've ascended past all of this. Nif would transcend, and it's kind of stereotypical magic girl, like Sailor Moonish, but it's more natural. It's like water and growth and kind of swirling through her being, and it kind of her hair turns blue and is just kind of slightly floating, and kind of her garment becomes kind of a little bit radiant, and everything is kind of softly flowing, very water-like, but kind of still very solid feeling, and very magical girl transformation. And after she transforms, you can see, first of all, her eyes are glowing, kind of one is brown, one is blue, and just her voice takes on their voice takes on a kind of double tone of, a higher pitch and a lower pitch, a kind of doubling of the voice, just really subtly. And I think Nif would look around and say, obviously, we need to get these. And I think we're all going to have to pitch in for this. I think let's all go and do some damage, shall we? And I'm hoping to use the as one action. So if we're all going to do a group action, it says, when you lead a group action or receive an assist while transcended, you briefly incorporate others into your harmony. You may roll the highest action rating among all participants instead of your own action rating. But if I'm leading a group action, for any 1 to 3s that anybody rolls, I take 1 stress.
Okay, so we just don't roll 1s or 3s. Awesome.
And I'm assuming, obviously it's not going to be something that, because I don't think I can empathize or forgive these into submission. And it's something we all have to do.
I believe with what you're saying, I think you're saying let's face this danger head on. That's a defy all the way. So if anyone has a point in defy, though, you get to use that instead.
I've got a point in defy. I like punching things.
So you have a point in defy right now with your ability.
Oh, excellent. So it means that I don't roll a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's excellent. So I hope we all roll well on defy, please.
All right, everyone roll to defy as you all head in.
Rolled snake eyes again.
No!
Die.
3 for me.
5 for me. Which is very ironic given the fact that you're my rival and I'm the only one not causing you stress.
So do I also?
You will also roll. Yeah.
No, I already rolled. I got a 2.
Okay.
for every member of the group action whose results is 1 to 3, I take a stress. So I take 3 more stress.
Correct.
Or
But I didn't.
But even though it was real shitty, you all became part of my, of my
Only-
harmony. And for a little bit of time, your minds are in a very kind of tranquil, you're brought to mind of a garden, cool air, kind of just you're in a peaceful place, in this kind of feeling of love and forgiveness and just true kind of connection.
I will say only 2 of us got the results of a 1 or a 3, so you should only have 2 more stress.
I thought, because I got a 2, and then I thought, yeah.
I got a 5, and Dozens got a 1, and Jaden got a 3. So that's only 2 people who got a 1 or a 3.
1, 2, 3. 1 to
I
count.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been mishearing it the whole time.
It's okay.
I'm
this
so
is
sorry.
this is where I've noticed you've got a lot of stress, so I will remind you that you can spend links to recover stress.
I don't have any links. People have links with me.
Oh,
I don't have any links with anybody
but
except myself.
but people can spend links to reduce your stress as well. So
you're almost eclipsed, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, we need to get
Which
I
is
think
also
the-
really great because I rolled a 2 on my defy, which is definitely not going to have any issue.
Calliope is the only person who has links with you. Calliope, how many links do you have
I've got
with
3 links.
Okay.
Do we have to
And-
defy first?
well, we'll do the defy. I'm just giving the option of like your friends helping you not take as
Mhm.
much stress. You spend a link to recover 2 stress, and it can affect you, the linked character, or the linked character at your option.
Okay, so that could potentially be 6 stress off.
Yeah, if you want me to take all 3 of them, I can, or I can just do 1 or 2.
I up to you. I think, however, I I have 1 more stress until I go into eclipse, and I rolled a 2 on my divide. So I think
Okay.
I'm going to be accumulating more stress.
All right, let's just go ahead and I'll use all 3.
Awesome. So you reduce your stress by 6.
Ooh.
How does Calliope reduce Nif's stress?
I think that I will take a second to kind of pull her aside and grab both of her hands and do the mimicked deep breathing situation to kind of try and help calm her central nervous system down a little bit.
Glad we're here. I'm glad you're here with us. You know we can't do this without you. You're going to come out of this safe, but you are such an integral part of the team.
Thanks, friend.
Of course.
So now you are rolling down this corridor to the server room to go where the danger is, as you follow the results of that defy roll together. And you don't have any problems. The drones kind of disperse as you are running, because they just kind of move out of your way, keeping an eye on you as you enter this space. And in this room there is a person, and there's just floating hands in these drones behind them, kind of almost like 7 foot tall. This person is in a tweed jacket and a large wristwatch that has so many hands on it, and it's just running its hand down the servers as the lights on these servers just go nuts as the hand crosses them, just blinking rapidly, and it's absorbing information. And like this being has a tablet in its hand that is just flashing things, and it says, and it turns to perceive all of you, and it says, "I am Splendiferous Maximus, Dozens, you're muted.
That's just as well, because I'm Kronos now, not Janice. I don't think Kronos would have that kind of reaction.
Okay.
Kronos would take it pretty coldly. But somewhere on the inside, Janice is screaming. Splendiferous Maximus. Oh my god.
You have data that I wish to collate.
I hate to interrupt, but Mal, I do have old loyalties. The adversaries are not immediately hostile towards Lycos.
Okay. That's good to know. It looks at you and it says, Lycos, you have brought me data to collate. Our mission will be hereby successful.
You do know I love a successful mission.
This will train
Now-
our algorithms.
Algorithms. I assume Sort is involved in this. Is that part of who I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Yes, Sort and a child.
We don't have to talk about the children. It's so nice to see you again, Sort. I've missed you dearly.
You have not been missed, from my understanding of surveying multiple members of the court.
Is that so? I wouldn't expect those bastards to miss their right hands, let alone me.
All except one. One person does miss you.
I miss her too.
So you do not bring me data.
I bring you a type of data.
And with this, the hands will just like circle rapidly. This creature almost floats in the draft that these props are making and just floats over to you and says, what data is that?
How to take a punch. I'm gonna punch him with the gauntlet.
Yes. Awesome. So I guess roll to defy.
Sorry, I'm bopping the queen right now because that's on Lycos's playlist. So
Nice.
we've got queen playing. That's a 5, baby.
5. Okay.
These dice are being nice to me.
Excellent.
I mean, it was a 5 and a 1, so I'm glad I have a skill.
The hand, one of these drone hands just comes and catches your hand. And you were doing it from a controlled position. It was not hostile towards you. So it comes and grabs your hand and says, I have analyzed your fighting style. And but you are kind of forced back to take a different position.
Man, with a 5?
With a 5, yeah. Unless you want to push yourself and give yourself a bonus die.
I mean, I don't like my odds for that, and I don't want to accumulate more stress.
That's fair.
I
but-
do have a question.
Yes.
It only grabbed one of my hands,
Yeah.
and we all know one of a boxer's best assets is misdirection.
Awesome.
Pop, pop, baby.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. No, you managed to get one hit on with your like this left hook, and it's immediately after it says, I've studied your fighting style, you land a hit on it. You're both forced back from this position, as in this kind of almost a stalemate occurs, and with a partial success. And he says, I did not have that in my training data.
I didn't think you did.
All right.
I do have a question. Just an innocent query. Why are they making you do their dirty work again? I mean, you have to come to this awful place. You have to deal with a child. An infant who cannot comprehend your vast intellect. Why are they making you do this? This seems like an insult to one so efficient, one so grand. Glances over to Nif and kind of does this very small thumbs up.
I'm gonna have you make an express roll.
Oh boy, we're not good at those.
Can I? So, one of the things of Perfect Pitch, when you sing to inspire your allies or soothe the troubled hearts of foes,
Ooh.
roll plus 1d. Like, is there something that I could do with that to kind of start, like, gently singing, trying to like reach to Splendiferous Cogwell in there.
Yeah.
Like, but it's something like that would inspire or like could be used to help um Lycos.
I like that. I would say that yeah, I would say you can use this ability and give especially since it's like soothing the heart, and I would say you can give a bonus die to Lycos without expending stress. So
Amazing.
I love that. I love that Lycos is going for the person that they know, and Nif is going for the person that they know. Concordia is going for the person that they
Yes.
know.
Concordia.
Just yeah, very kind of very gentle. Hello, child. We are here to help you.
Yeah, so roll to express, please.
All right, awesome. And that's a bonus die, baby.
Yep.
Also, I lied. Apparently, Lycos is good at expression because I have a skill point in it.
Nice. Well, now you're extra good.
Yeah, I'm the goodest there's ever been, baby. This is a range of rolls. So the highest is a 6.
Perfect.
There's also a 1 and a 3. So we've got like the full spectrum going on.
I love that. Okay. So it says, have I been doing dirty work?
You have. They talk about you so rudely when I was there. They talk about you like you're doing mundane grunt work. Like what you do doesn't matter. Like all of the data you get doesn't help them. Like you're not essential. It always made me so mad.
That it was certainly a gap in my surveys. And this creature looks up well, I guess this creature doesn't know Janice has Kronos. So like, yeah. This is, you brought other gods here. Why do you defy the lords? Were not kind to us, but they are our leaders.
Because they're wrong. Because community is not a bad thing. My friends matter to me, and they make me stronger. And I wouldn't give that up for all of the power that the lords could offer, for all of the silver words or empty promises or gilded cages. I don't like what I am right now, but I like where I am. And I like who I'm with. Can you say the same?
The its head is almost like mechanical in some ways. And but it still has a way to move and express itself. And you see that it almost seems like it gets smaller. These drones, the red lights turn off on them and just kind of withdraw into these like coalescing circles around the back of Splendiferous Maximus. And it says, what would you have me do?
Don't go back. Don't do their work for them. Don't destroy the goodness that is here. You don't have to stay. You don't have to do what I've done. But you don't have to be alone. You don't have to be slotted into the role of a conqueror or the role of a grunt or any of the 1,000 titles that they will give you that are meaningless. You can decide for yourself who you are and what you want to do. You can decide what connections you wish to pursue. And I know that you will find like-minded people. People who love the data collection just as much as you. People who are fascinated by it, who see it as the work of art that it is.
This creature like shifts for a second, and you hear the voice of Splendiferous Cogwell, and he says, no, Janice will go down. We need a better algorithm. We need more speed. We need more. And it starts reaching towards the servers almost like in defiance of itself.
Why do you need more, Splendiferous? Why do you want more?
You know you're good enough as you are.
She won't beat me again. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
At this point, Kronos's face mask like lifts up to reveal Janice's face. And I want to tell Splendiferous, I'm going to try to reach to Splendiferous Cogwell inside Splendiferous Maximus. And I want to confess to Splendiferous Cogwell and say, and assure Splendiferous that he is enough and that he doesn't need to do this. And say, Splendiferous, you are exceptional. And I have to confess that I am impressed by you. To be where you are right now in your career and your journey at the age of 16 is so much farther than I was at your age. By the time you have caught up to me in years, you will have already far surpassed me. You don't need to do this. I'm proud of you.
Please roll to confess. Nif is still giving you a bonus die.
Absolutely still singing, reaching my heart out to Splendiferous Cogwell.
The silliest name and the saddest story.
That was only a 3. I'm going to push myself.
Okay.
A 4.
A 4. That is a partial success. But I think with the position with the 6 earlier, you've pushed yourself through these positions. He says the drones start just fading into this creature, just like one by one, just like returning as if they were part of the same mass to begin with. And eventually this thing gets smaller and smaller until this little 5'4", like 16-year-old kid, kind of gangly in his tweed jacket, he says, and just looks like is crouched on the floor as this creature gets smaller. And you looks up, he's crying, he says, "You mean that?"
Yeah, I fully drop my transcendence at this point, and I just am Janice, and I walk over and I crouch down onto the floor next to him and grab him by the shoulders and just very earnestly, yes, I do. Of course I do. And together, you and I are going to lead our team into victory at the robotics competition. And then because you and I are going to work together and build out an algorithm that's going to crush everybody else.
He says, "I still want to compete with you, though. We can get better. We can do it better if we are pitting against 2 different algorithms." And he starts going into like a technical explanation of like A/B testing different algorithms. And he's still like just sobbing in this room. But the drones appear to have disappeared, and you are in this room.
I
He
think
says,
during
oh,
this also, Concordia would have made their way over to Calliope, and like that song of "You Are Enough," "You Are Exceptional," you know, you are welcome, you know, kind of trying to bring Calliope into that song as well.
Yeah, same dozens. Yep. I'll just be over here weeping silently.
And
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Lycos watches it, and for a moment they look for Sort, for any sign that it's stuck around.
You see that in Splendiferous's hand here is what looks like it would be like a CPU, but it's like made of like a brass all the way through. He seems to have an artifact similar to what you all have.
Splendiferous, I know that we don't exactly know each other, but I'd like to talk to my friends sometime if that's okay.
Splendiferous is like, he looks up and he says, I don't really know what's going on. Janice beat me this morning, and so I went looking for algorithms, and somebody like sent me a message, sent me an email saying that they have some sort of, you know, algorithm that I'm looking for, and then I don't remember a whole lot. So I don't know who your friend is, but I can try.
That the little brass, the artifact, I think it's my friend, and I really missed it. So if you can, I'd like to talk to it sometime.
I think I can do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are these your friends, Janice?
Yes, these are my friends.
I
And
I don't have
go
a lot
around
of
and
friends. Oh God, yeah. You
I
introduce.
just would go around and introduce everybody.
Um, I don't have a lot of friends,
I mean, I
and
count at least 4 here.
You do now, Splendiferous.
with that, I think that's a good place to end for the night.
I just a little final thing, if I can tack it on, as things kind of wrap up. Harry drops their transformation and puts a hand on Calliope's shoulder as best they can. I think there's a pretty significant height difference. You did well. And you know I wouldn't give compliments if I didn't mean it. So, I do. You did good. I'd be proud to be your general.
Thank you so much, friend.
You're welcome.
If everybody else is dropping their transcendence, I think Nif would also go back to just being a person.
I love that. That was one of the best games I've ever had. I'm just saying, it was. This is going to be so amazing. I'm already in love with this game.
So good. So good.
It's
I
amazing.
went into the drone fight and I was like, oh yeah, Lycos is just gonna punch things, take
Mhm.
names, and then I looked at Sort and I was like, yeah, probably not.
Oh no, we're gonna have feelings
We're gonna
instead.
talk about our emotions.
We're gonna save the world with feelings.
I love that. Yeah. Part of the tier 1 missions is to free a special person or place from the grip of the abyss, and that's what y'all did. So
Woo!
Check.
this was fantastic. I guess we should just do our outros. So,
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
important.
Hold on. Let me see. Bear with me just one moment. So, yeah. Thank you everyone for coming to watch. Let's do our outros. We'll start with you, Chantel.
Hi, I'm Chantel. It says promote. You can promote what you're doing. I'm doing literally nothing. I'm doing this. So, if you like me, join me here on Tuesdays. I play Winifred, aka Nif, also known as Concordia.
All right. It's my turn. Yay. So, hello everybody. I am Elle. If you would like to see if I will continue to be Elle, you can find me at Sapphic Soulful or at Soulful Sapphic on the social medias. You can find me here every Tuesday playing Carrie. I gotta commit, I gotta say the full name, so I guess that this is what we're doing. So, Carrie Carrie Mellon Evander Lyall, aka Lycos, who is doing their best, and their best is kind of bad, but that's okay. It's bad in the best way. You can also find me over on Bardic Inspiration Network on Twitch. We have a game tomorrow. It is the return of our Tales of Exandria Shadows of the Lost game. I play an Eladrin Circle of Stars druid. We just wrapped up an arc, so now is the perfect time to hop in, say hi to everybody, say hi to our budding polycule of sad sapphics and their adopted child who's only like 3 years younger than them. And you can also find me there every other Monday playing in a fantastic game, our sister Tales of Exandria show, Tales of Exandria Swords of Byrodin. We are entering a tournament arc. I am playing a feral tiefling twilight cleric who routinely rips people's throats out to kill them. It's super fun. They are the asexual rep we all need. So I think that is all I have to plug right now. I have some Power Ranger stuff coming up on Bardic Inspiration Network, but that is not yet in the programming. But I can officially announce it. Woo woo! And that's all I have.
Right, Dozens.
I'm Dozens. You can find me here on Twitch, Dozens here. I stream video games sometimes. If you're on Mastodon, hit me up at Dozens at tiny.tilde.website. I make small, weird games that you can download at dozens.itch.io. And that's all I got. Popcorn
Hey, I
Jaden.
am Hey, I am Soliloquy Jaden. You can find me on most platforms as Fat Sapphic Bro. I mostly hang out on TikTok. I will be here Tuesday nights. I'm also here Sunday nights and Monday afternoons. Yeah, I announced it all in the beginning, but yeah, you can find me around.
And I'm Archangelic. You can find me here running this game for these wonderful folks. Thank you, wonderful people.
Go
And-
coconuts.
Go coconuts. Yeah, I just need like a coconut sound, like soundboard.
It's not a horse, it's a coconut.
Yeah, you can find me here running this game. I also run a homebrew D&D game Sunday nights called Era of the Dragons at 7:30. I'm not really on Twitter, but that you can follow me there if you want, I guess. So but yeah, that's me. I want to thank everybody for joining in, and I also want to thank Dot User, our wonderful producer who is here helping us stream. We love you and appreciate you. So, and with that, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining in. We love you, and we hope to see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, friends. Bye.
Bye.